on minus. Hold on. Today on Mina Studio, as you may have guessed, but you probably didn't, we're going to talk about weird musical instruments that you might want to use with your worship band. Alright, so I don't think you should just pull out a melodica solo just because you're bored with your guitar one week. That's just distracting. But there are some weird instruments, and by weird I mean instruments you just don't normally see in a worship band. There are some of these instruments that can actually add a lot to a worship band if done correctly, and that's the key word, if done correctly and, in context. So I'm going to show you a couple of these that I really like, and I have them because for some reason I got into a kick where people just started giving me weird instruments for birthday and Christmas presents, which I liked because now I have a lot of weird instruments. So let's take a look, shall we? These are 3 weird instruments that might be good for your worship team. Might. The first one is not really a weird instrument at all, but it is one you don't see on worship teams very often, and that is the harmonica. I absolutely love harmonicas. Love them. I can't play them, not a bit, but I love them. I love the sound of them. So this is a cheap Piedmont Blues 7-key set that I got, and it's like $20. So they're really cheap harmonicas, but fun to play with. So again, I can't play, but you all know what a harmonica sounds like. Obviously, in some contexts, that could be really cool for a worship band. I mean, it has to be on the right song. You don't want to pull that out in the middle of I don't know, the Stand by Hillsong, just a harmonica solo. That would just be weird. But harmonicas, yeah, I think they can be very, very subtle sounding and very, almost like a background synth, not synth, like organ synth kind of sound. I think they're good. So this is a Piedmont set, Piedmont Blues, just a really cheap plastic set. If you have somebody who actually plays harmonica in your church, you should use them. Because harmonicas, when played well, can sound really, really amazing and blend really well with modern worship bands. So that's instrument number 1, the harmonica. Again, not really a weird instrument in the scope of life, but you don't usually see it on worship bands. So our second instrument is definitely weirder, and that's the one that you saw in the intro, the melodica. So melodica, I think we can all admit, is just a weird instrument in general, but they're so cool and so fun. So a melodica is basically a small keyboard that you blow air into, like a flute or something, and it makes noise. So it's what it sounds a lot like and is similar to is a accordion, because it's a similar concept, blowing air through keys like an accordion. So you'll hear it sounds like an accordion. I can't play well, again, but there you go. That is a melodica. Again, I can't play. I just got all these because people like to give me them as presents. So that one would have to be used very carefully in a worship band, and if you want to look super cool, they come with hoses too, so you can play them sitting on the table like this. If you want to look really cool on Sunday, you use this. Super cool, right? Okay, so that is the melodica. Be very careful using that one in your worship band, and really only use it if you have somebody who knows what they're doing, or maybe for like a special service, different kind of music where it would sound right. Like sometimes bands do kind of a more rootsy thing during Christmas, and something like a melodica, which sounds like an accordion, could actually sound pretty good. But in general, on a Sunday, in most modern churches, if you pull that out and start playing, it's just gonna be a distraction. So melodicas are cool, but be very careful with those. All right, our final weird instrument, maybe not the weirdest, but I think maybe the coolest. This is, you can hear it. What's in there? So this is bells, or this one's called the glockenspiel, or kind of like a xylophone, or those are all really actual things that I'm not keen on what they are. The orchestra people will know the difference, but it's that kind of instrument. I just call them bells because I don't know what this specific kind is called. This is just a cheap one. I got it on Amazon for $30. Probably used mostly in like elementary school bands and music classrooms and such, but sounds pretty decent. And bells can sound really good in modern worship music. Again, used carefully because they can sound really bad if you play them very badly, obviously. But I've even heard them on a lot of modern worship albums. They're very subtle when they use them, but they can sound really good. And some synths, like you'll hear on keyboards, are actually kind of based off bells. And so this is what they sound like. Not too foreign for you, probably. Again, just straight up bells. Apparently a glockenspiel is what this specific one is called, but I really like them. If you have somebody who knows how to play these, could be a drummer, could be a pianist, might be good at playing this. In one of our previous churches, we had our drummer play this because he was in the high school band and actually played this in his high school band. So there you go. Last one is the glockenspiel, or the bells, or whatever you want to call it. Can sound really, really cool in a worship band. So, all right, here we go. Some strange instruments you might use in your worship band, but please use with caution. In fact, I'm going to put a disclaimer on the screen. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to see videos kind of like this, please subscribe to the Mina Studio channel, and I will see you back here next week.